there was some 355 of you in there watching me make a fool of myself in front of this, thinking there's no one there. Anyway, there's 2 of you now. It's probably an internet thing, but I'll soldier on here and hopefully there'll be a few hundred of you. And I don't know. Oh, hello, we got a comment. Yes, it's working. Welcome to Jeddah, and on a beautiful night. In fact, I've never known it to be this cool. It is glorious. As you can see, I've got a jacket on here. I'm 19 floors up in what is a stunning hotel at a crazy nightly rate, ridiculously priced. In fact, this is the Shangri-La Hotel. Going back, must have been the second race they ever had here. I decided I'd stay here. I checked into some hotel and I thought, no, that is terrible. I'm not going to waste my time there. And I moved in here. And it was just shy of 2,000 euros a night. 2,000 US or thereabouts a night. But it's so look at the track. It's just there. It's only be 250 meters to that point there, and then down there is the paddock. And if you had a look at my Instagram post earlier today, you would have seen a whole lot of pallets out there on the track waiting to be unpacked and put into place. So I've got a camera, not that you can see this, no, I've got my phone stuck on a mount with a microphone on the glass door here, the balcony door, and then I've got this light over here which I can swing around and illuminate me. Otherwise, if I didn't have that light, it'd be less. Today, coming in on my flight, 2 F1 drivers, one sitting directly behind me and one on the other side of the plane, one of their trainers with them. One, and you'll have to watch my video Thursday to find out who, got the greeting as you get out of the plane and then walk down the stairs, and then they got a car to a separate place. And the other one walked in with me and then got greeted and taken to a separate area. But brilliant processing coming into this country. It was 30 seconds for me to get through immigration. There was no one at the counter, so I walked straight up. The woman behind the counter took my passport. She looked at it. She did a cursory thing, whatever. My finger went on the little fingerprint thing. 30 seconds later, I'm through, and it was so nice. And then it says expected luggage wait of about 10 minutes. It was exactly 10. And I walked out straight into the general landside area, got myself a taxi. And if you're coming here, don't deal with those touts, and there are a lot of them out there. They're all trying to get your business, but just Uber. I love the Uber because you know the price. You don't have to waste time at the end of your trip paying. I didn't have any local cash, and so many of them want cash. No. Uber works perfectly fine, and I'm grateful for that. Yes, I'm accepting questions in a moment after I get through all of this. Only 185 of you, but I don't think that's right. For some reason, that's a false reading. You guys, can you tell? Do you get a readout your end as to how many people doing this? Hello, somebody's come in with a super chat and just knocked it out of the park. Kym, you are the man, one of the F1 finest. See you in Miami. Thank you, Enzo. And he's chipped in some dollars to tell me that I'm doing a good job. Well, you're my #1 favourite at the moment, Enzo. Thank you very much. And that actually more than paid for dinner, because I had a meal down here. I can show you just quickly, yeah. Let me show you here. Hopefully it doesn't fall off. Down there is where I had dinner. And I have these Shangri-La points, and I've never been able to work out how the bloody hell you use them. Well, I worked it out tonight. Let me just position this on the glass a bit better. So I got some value out of those points. But this track is so magically lit. Look at that, isn't that glorious? And I did a time lapse, which you'll see in an upcoming video of mine, and it looked great. I had a couple of other things I want to talk to you about. will.i.am stayed here a couple of years ago when I came over here to do something, and had a chat with him. He's a lovely fellow, will.i.am, just really cool guy. Greetings from Kosovo. Oh, I know. the name Kosovo. I can't tell you what your capital is, but you don't need me to tell you because you live in the country. Hello to one of my members there, Dodgem F1. It's an impressive view, all right. Originally I had a lower room, and then they bumped me up to this one. And just over there, you can't see it, but out of shot over there, is the Red Sea Mall, and it is a great, great shopping mall. If you like to do shopping, although I don't have much on tomorrow. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to try and run the whole track. I've been doing a little bit of training, not anywhere near enough. I did 5Ks the other day on a treadmill without stopping, and I could have gone longer. So this track is 6Ks. Tomorrow, I'm going to give it a run, probably early in the morning. It's only going to be 29 degrees, I think, tomorrow. I think it warms up a little bit to the weekend, 34 perhaps, come race day. Has your viewer count been picking up since the new season started? We've put on a crazy number of followers on both Insta. We're up 10% in virtually 5 weeks on both platforms, the two main ones. In 5 weeks. That's phenomenal. And we have a real hunger to grow this channel on YouTube and on Instagram. So, yeah, expect to see more and more content. It's going to kill me, but anyway, if it makes you happy, makes me happy too. Jeddah. Look, I've got a better feeling about Jeddah now. I've got to tell you, their airport is lovely. Very well organised. In fact, all of these Middle Eastern airports are fantastic. For my American audience, if you've never been to the Middle East and seen these airports, you'll die. You stack it up against the ones that I've been to in America, the Miami's a shocker, can't stand it. All of those airports are like big bus stations. These places here are lavish, and I know that they've got a lot of space and they've got crazy amounts of money. This place in particular is out of control. I think 4 or 5 years ago they might have had a few 5-star hotels. They have so many now and are planning more and more. It's an obscene amount of money that they are spending, and look, it's great for tourism for them. I don't know where they're going to find these people to fill all these hotels, but to give you an idea, this is an off-season night, and it's 1,250 Aussie a night, which is 700-ish US or euros a night. And its proximity to the track is stunning. Service is okay. Nothing like my favourite hotel for service in the world, and that's the Mandarin Oriental in Miami. Yeah, bizarre American hotel with the very best service in the world. And I go there for 2 nights after the race just because I feel special staying in that hotel. It's a really lovely feeling. The hotel's nice, nothing wrong with it. You know, it's a 5-star, and it's pretty good value. But the service, oh, I love it. Seb Vettel is racing tomorrow. He was racing tonight and tomorrow night with a whole lot of young women, Saudi women, promoting and championing their cause. Any heightened security fears, threats like before from Yemen? I don't know. There was no security threats when that Yemen bomb happened. Yeah, it was a rocket or something that hit the refinery. I went actually and had a look at that, because if you're not aware, going back to the very first race, I'm pretty sure it was, I was down there, about there somewhere, and I was shooting in one of the practice sessions, turn 2, and next thing I know, we see this big plume of smoke behind the track. Oh, that's interesting, must be a fire. And of course later in the afternoon we find out, no, it was a device that hit an oil facility, I think. And I actually went back to my hotel. I was staying at a much less salubrious place than this, and I could see it from the top of the hotel. You could still see a bit of the flames and the smoke, and then I went out the next morning and had a look. But yeah, nothing like that since. I don't think too many people here were worried about it. The drivers were, F1 people, yeah, they were worried. They had that big long meeting that went until, I don't know, 1, 2, 3 a.m. in the morning. Well, a.m. is morning, I know. And in the end, they did consider leaving, but in the end decided to stay because I don't know whether I can say that. I won't say that. Drink a beer in Jeddah. Now, for those of you wondering, can you get a drink in a hotel here or restaurant? No. In fact, you can't even get alcohol on flights coming into or out of this country. Now, on another matter, it's not inconceivable that Saudi will end up with 2 races. Yeah, they could, like America, who has 3, end up with 2. One in Riyadh, one in this place, in Jeddah. Now, if this weather carried on the whole year, it would be a stunning joint. Unfortunately, it gets very, very hot, and the times I've been here before, I just remember hot and uncomfortable. Now, here is Zenith Harris, who's been a member for a month. And if you're wondering what membership gets you, it gets you things like raw images after the weekend. If you're a photographer, that'll have some appeal to you. It gets you wallpapers, discounts on stuff, videos that no one else gets. So yes, you can become a member by hitting the join button. Sometimes it's only visible on laptops. I don't know enough about it. Right, if Netflix offers you to replace... No, I have no interest in that. No, I'm not a very good employee. I haven't been an employee for... Well, last time I was an employee when I worked for Channel 9 when I was 27. Hello, Ryan, one of my backers. And if you want to get your comment definitely seen, because I'm doing a lot of talking and hence missing a lot of your comments, please hit the super chat button. This is the final turn down here, and then they go racing back up there to the start finishing line. Who's my favourite driver to photograph? Oh, I get a lot from Franco, get a lot from Jack Doohan. Kimi Antonelli is a joy. Yeah, they're 3 that come to mind. Lovely background, isn't it? Just 19th floor of the Shangri-La Hotel in what is a beautiful hotel, but way too expensive that I shouldn't have. Or did you still get my video and audio? And the audio should be very good because I've got a microphone, a Rode mic with a dead cat on it. That's what they called a fluffy ball thing. Do you think Singapore is in the top 3 airlines in the world? No, I don't. My top 3 would Emirates, Qatar. What's the third? Unfortunately, Singapore out of Perth flies the OK seat, and if you saw my video earlier on tonight, that's the seat that we get a lot. It's okay, but it's no comparison to Qatar. It's no comparison to the good Emirates. There is a shit Emirates business class offering. Here's Raza 390. Says, are paddock rumours of GR contract extension true? What a great season for him so far. Mr. Consistency, yes. You know what? I don't know if they're true or not. Maybe we'll find out tomorrow in the press conference if he's in it. I love that George is very open about saying when someone has driven well. He did it last race saying, I think it was Oscar, or maybe both of them. No, it was Oscar who drove a great race. He's always complimentary. He always says hello to me. His parents were there last weekend, and he's very much a class act. Confident, there's no doubt, but lovely. Hello, Kym. Greetings from Miami. Hello, Miami. I like the song by John Cougar Mellencamp many years ago called Miami. Every time I go to Miami, I play that. Hello, Rob Callery's been a member of mine for 12 months. Finally, a live stream I can join in and watch. Now, it is 9:15 p.m. here on the, what is that? Is that the Dead Sea, Red Sea? What is that? Anyway, it's a sea out there. They're doing so much building here. You can't see this, but down here was previously just sand and probably water. They reclaimed it, I imagine. Is now going to be some stunning shopping mall, offices perhaps, and certainly apartments. These people here are going gangbusters. They've got this huge plan for the next 5 years. And I don't know whether any other country could keep up with what they're spending on their infrastructure here. And this hotel, I don't think you can see it from that shot, but this hotel has some amazing lighting on it that just goes all night and flashes around. It's mighty impressive. Saudi are on the up. Yeah, I know. And I know some of you don't like the idea of racing here. I have to come here to cover it, so I don't have a choice, but you can't deny that they're aggressive. Apparently they stump up for all of Formula E. It wouldn't happen without them. Hello, Sai. Is it a chanter or a canter? Thank you very much for being a backer of the channel. If you want to get your comments seen, please hit the super chat button and I will look at your comment and read it, because I can't avoid it, because it takes over all of that beautiful shot in the background that you get to see, but I don't. Where are you getting your money for? Are you signed to a page? I never stop working. That's all I do. So if I decide I want to stay at a nice hotel and it's a lot of money, I just work a lot harder so I can afford to stay here. Turns out the German GP doesn't take place anymore because the track was too dangerous for F1 cars. Is that right? At Hockenheim, I love that race. That was the only time I've done a German GP, and it was the most amazing day to photograph Formula One. So much went on the last corner because it was so slippery. We had Carlos go off, Hulkenberg possibly getting points, possibly getting a podium, puts it into the wall. It was crushing for him. Max did a full spin. Lewis, did he have an incident there? It was just phenomenal. And I remember Daniel Kvyat ended up on the podium, and he was just pumping, jumping around. He was like a Mexican jumping bean, and it was lovely to watch. And Lance Stroll did pretty well too, because out the back of the FIA garage, I seem to remember him coming out with this crazy smile on his face. What's the future of Pirelli, someone asked? I don't know. What, are they in doubt? It's so hard to keep up with what's going on. Yeah, I've had a beer or two, in Saudi. You have a beer here, mate, you'll be spending the night in jail, if not some months. And I don't think I want to be in a Saudi jail. I don't want to be in any jail. Best US-based airline, I fly American a lot because I have to with my Qantas association. But I like JetBlue. I like their throne seat, and I'm taking that flight to where? To Miami in a couple of weeks. I like that. And unfortunately, the flight gets in at 2 p.m. and then you can't just get on a direct connection because there's obviously a curfew in Miami, so you have to hang around for 6 hours or 7 hours, and the flight goes at 9 p.m. and you arrive in at 5 a.m. So you've got to book the hotel from the night before so it's ready for you. Favourite bit of photography gear? Look, I use my 1-300 lens pretty much every day. It's very heavy, but it's a great lens, and my pictures are much better for having that lens. Never been to Wales, but we, of course, well, I've been to New South Wales, which is a state in Australia. Please drop by Malaysia. No, not going to Malaysia. Malaysia, I remember with the Malaysian Grand Prix, was horrendous. It was the same temperature as Singapore, but it was in the middle of the day with the sun out. Nah, no thanks. And I've done hot races. I've done Qatar at night, but I remember that being quite nasty and hot. Looks better with less light, mate. Okay, top 3 hotels. Oh, easy. Palazzo Tangara. Maybe not that easy. Shivers. I haven't got my list in front of me. Yeah, Palazzo's amazing in Brazil, in Sao Paulo. Mandarin Oriental for the service in Miami. What else do I love? Oh, yeah, top 2, how about that? That's 2/3 the way there. No, I don't have an agreement with F1. I don't shoot for F1. My images get to F1, but they get there via Getty Images. So I'm a contributor to their site, and they're the biggest in the world. No one beats Getty, and no one comes even close. Do you think Valtteri or Checo will return? Says, or how do I even pronounce that? There's a Ronald in there, I could make that out. I don't know. I know exactly as the same as you, and at the moment, I'll be very keen to hear though. Won't that be an amazing thing when we find out who gets those 2 seats? And then suddenly we've got 22 drivers. Hello, Lee Ann. With a love heart, thank you very much. Can I press like? Oh, I did. I can press like. There you go. Sick view, all right. Any photos I've not been able to publish? So many. Yeah, I've got them in my Lightroom catalogue, and it very clearly says not to be used. I have actually had 2 cock-ups with that, though, where somebody has used them, and I've had to go into defense mode and make good, but yeah. And by the way, this live stream will end when the light runs out, when I run out of battery on that light. How did you learn photography? By taking a million photos. People say, oh, do you need a degree? No, you don't need a degree at all. You just need to take a lot of photos. And you need to look at other people's work and work out what they're doing. And I just constantly have the best guys around me. There's only about 3 women in the paddock shooting F1, all guys, mostly guys. But I surround myself with the very best in the world, so I'm under no illusion that my pics are fantastic. I look at these guys and I go, oh, that's really good, that's great. And it's a matter of just, look, I can take an amazing photo, but I can't take them consistency. It's like anyone can have a hole-in-one in golf, but a pro golfer is going to have more holes in one than you are, because they're going to be constantly closer to the pin. And the guys that I sit next to and knock around with are the best. Right, somebody asked the airport. Yeah, it's just over there. It's very nice. I can't think what this place is like though in the middle of July or August when it's 50 degrees. No, there's not much going for that. But coming in, when we flew in today, the countryside below looks astounding. A little bit like Australia in colour, but a lot more hills and mountains, and yeah, it's a pretty amazing place. I wouldn't like to live here. Not one bit would I want to have these temperatures, but good luck to those who can get away with it and who enjoy it. It seems like a lot of work. Now, Alex Lees says, were you into F1 or photography first? And when did you get into either of them? I was more into photography because I bought a house in Lancel and then I had nothing to do because we go up there every weekend. So I thought I'll start this Facebook page and I'd photograph the place, and that kept me interested and busy. And then I got into F1 photography, and now I don't do much of the Lancel and stuff. Now, favourite movie, someone said. Well, the two that Lost in Translation. I was going to say Frantic's nice. I like Frantic. Most of you wouldn't have seen that. Maybe some of you haven't read not seen Lost in Translation. But I'm a big fan of that movie. And in fact, both of those movies, Frantic and Lost in Translation, involve people outside their home country in another country. Rightio. Missing Colapinto in the paddock. Yeah, he sent me a note the other day about something, and I asked him when he's back, but he didn't respond. So I don't know whether he's going to be here this race. Oh. What is my opinion on adding a street circuit in Switzerland? Fuck, that'll be so expensive. That'd be more. I don't know anything can be any more expensive than this joint here. There are so many people with so much money that they can charge these crazy prices. And if you just joined, this hotel I'm staying at here now, which is off-peak rates, goes like it's about 700 euros a night at the moment. And it bumps up to 3,000 euros, maybe even more a night, come the race weekend. That's crazy money. It's nice, and the rooms are stunning, but it's not that. It's not worth that. I stay in Palazzo Tangara would be, I'm thinking 900 euros a night. Yeah, but in somewhere like Brazil, there's some great advantages in staying at a place like that hotel because it's such a secure place. All the drivers stay there, and Sao Paulo is pretty much a rat race. It's busy and the traffic is terrible. Is the background original? No, that's original. Look, there you go. Here, I'll show you. That's original. Look at that. That's as original as they get. It's a pretty good view, isn't it? And that's where a good whack of your money goes when you stay at this place. It goes towards that view and the fact that you can very quickly walk to the circuit. And I've done it a few years ago when it was a bit more reasonably priced than what it is now. So I go from this palatial, amazing hotel room to a very basic hotel room, maybe 500 meters that way. That's the Media Hotel, which is perfectly fine and a fraction of the cost of this. And I go there because of the proximity. The last thing we want to do working a 12-hour day, and if we can get away with 12 hours, that's a good day, is to have to then spend an hour in this shit traffic, and it's atrocious. Even at midnight, 1 a.m., those highways out there are crazy. And they don't have many traffic lights. Most of it is U-turns. And it's a bizarre system, really bizarre. And a lot of them don't have their lights on. They drive fast. They weave in and out of traffic. And it's exactly the same in Bahrain, where I've just come from. And so I'm happy not to have a car and just walk to the track. And I'm thinking that we're going to be a lot happier weather-wise than we were last year here. How's the food? I had some shawarma thing downstairs tonight. It was good and not overly expensive for a 5-star hotel. Thank you, Noah. Your dad bought my 2024 book. Loved it. Stole it. Now it's in my room. Bring it to a track that I'm at, and if I do a meet and greet, I'll gladly sign it. And anyone who's got any of my stuff, if they just wave it, I go to them first because they're my A-class followers, and I appreciate the support that you guys give me. 801 people all looking at that view. Look at that. That's lovely, isn't it? Bit of a breeze. Oh, the funny thing with this room is I've got the door open, and when you open the door into the corridor out there, this gust of wind comes through and it just closes, slams that door shut like you would not believe. You would not want to be a kid. Now somebody here's thrown in some big dollars here. Let me see if I can see. Thank you to Enzo, or is that from earlier on? What am I doing here? Kym, you're the man. Oh, that was from earlier on. Thank you very much, yes. Oh no, I don't want to press that one. It's very difficult getting rid of this stuff. I've got fat fingers too. Keep up the food work. Yes, I love the food work. Last race, I walked. I did my steps thing, and I had 5 days out of 6 where I walked a total of 72 kilometres. So 6 days. I didn't count the lowest day, but in those 5 days that I walked the most, it added up to 72 kilometres. That's a long way. That's halfway to Perth, more than halfway to Perth from Lansdowne, where I live in Perth. Well, outside of Perth. Will I do a meet and greet in Montreal? Probably, but it just depends. Oh, no. That's a shit one. That's a shit one for me to get anywhere. I'd have to have... No, it's tricky. It's tricky. It just depends on work schedules, and even then I normally don't know until a couple of days prior, but there has to be somewhere easy to get to that I can get to quickly and spend 15 or 20 minutes there. And the tracks like Kota is good. Mexico's good. Australia's great with the walk. Japan, yeah, just underneath the track. Well, I won't say no, but I won't say yes yet. Says the... what does it say? Ada Banner. Jeez, I'll be buggered without these things. Storytelling through the lens is next level. Thank you. I create artwork for athletes. Would love to connect on a collab. What's the best way to... send an email to Kym at kymillman.com, and Jace will have a look at that. And you won't get any sense out of us over the 4 days of an event. No, it's not hot either. What, Mr. Panthen or Mrs. Panthen? It's unbelievable. Look, I've got a jacket on. It's a lovely cool breeze. It's one of the coolest nights I remember in this country, and it's given me a newfound appreciation of it. It is quite lovely when it is like this. It's a very nice shopping centre just over there, the Red Sea Mall, and they have a Shake Shack, they have lots of other shops. And what does someone say here? Is Alpine just waiting to put Colapinto in for the start of Europe? No, Jack's in for the year. Sai Achante is throwing in some Saudi reals. I can spend them here too. Thank you very much for those reals. Here's what I want. Now, I gather you're a Saudi, so I want to interview a local woman in the full black outfit with the veil, whatever that's called, excuse my ignorance. But then I want to talk to her about F1 and about the country, because it's all quite mysterious to a lot of us from outside this country. And then I'd love it if she took off her veil. Do you know anyone that's willing? Burqa, okay, hijab, one or the other, yeah, thank you. Anyone know anyone that would want to be interviewed and just tell us what life's like here? Because I think we, in the Western world, might have a different idea of what it's really like. And I'm very keen to find out. I think it would be fascinating to chat with someone like that. I don't think I'll get to do it tomorrow night because I'm going out to do this thing with Sebastian Vettel's here, and he's doing some racing with young local racing women, and a few of us have been invited to go out and cover it. So we shall see, but if you know anyone, they can either direct message me through Instagram or email kim@kymillman.com. Taking off the hijab, no, that's crazy. Someone will do it, I'm sure. Is it? Taking off is a big no-no, my friend. Really? I've seen so many at the track without them. Anyway, we'll see what happens. It'll be interesting. Thank you, Sai. Or Say. Say hi to Seb. I'll say hi to Seb. I'm not going to say hi for every single person, but yes, I'll pass on my regards to him and hopefully have a chat with him, because it's not actually at this track, it's at another place, which means that we can video. I can't video anyone but me in the paddock down there, part of my video rules. It's funny when people say, get out of the way, you're talking about something behind, but you won't get out of the way. I can't. If I'm not the subject of the video, I lose my accreditation. Then you get nothing, absolutely nothing. I just wouldn't be able to give you any decent content if this is indeed decent content that you're getting now. What's the feeling in the paddock about the circuit? I don't know. I believe they get a pass at the track from what I read. Okay. Now there's another super chat here, is there? Want to get up, go ahead. Good evening. Were you ever able to ask a long-time photographer how many photos taken on average per race day before digital? No, but I have teed up an interview, excuse me, with Mark Thompson, who used to shoot. Well, he's been shooting for 500 races, and he shot on film. So I'm very keen to have a chat with Mark. Was supposed to have been last race, but now it'll probably be Miami or thereafter. Yeah, I'm interested in his feedback, because I would not like to shoot film having shot digital and knowing how quick stuff is to turn around. Yeah, he'll have some interesting stories to share with you and me. There is one building down there that has, no, you can't actually see it, but it has a dirty great big Aramco sign on it. And they are huge. They're one of the biggest companies in the world, and they produce a lot of oil out of this joint. What are your perks of being tied to F1 with the media stuff? Okay, well, I can tell you what we provided with the track. We get a desk in the media centre, which is air conditioned. We get food, we get drinks, we get shuttle buses sometimes from different hotels to the track and back. We get the media pass, obviously, which allows us to work. We get invited to all the countries, and we're provided with streamlining of entry into those countries. Yeah, it's, oh, and free internet, obviously. It's pretty good, but it's smart on F1's part, because if they want the sport to grow, they need new followers, new fans all the time coming in, and the stuff that I'm doing, without a doubt, opens up a brand new market, because my audience is so different to what F1 has traditionally been. My audience is 18 to 34-year-olds, and on one platform, I can't remember which one, I think it's Instagram, 35% women for a sport about motor racing. 35% women. It's unheard of, because only 10% on YouTube, and that's that's a great stat for F1 to know that women are coming into this sport. I have 2 passports, both Australian. Michael R., it is real. He answered it earlier. There you go. It is real. Look, for somebody wondering, look at that. That's real. You can probably hear some music from the little bar downstairs. How's the atmosphere in Red Bull Garage? I haven't looked inside the garage in ages. Favourite track to shoot? Monaco. Do you think Ferrari will win this weekend? No. Any idea when the 26 calendar is announced? No, and last year it was announced very early, wasn't it? Because I've had stuff booked for this year for a heck of a long time. The track is always lit up like that, and I think that stays on all night. And as you can, you can't see it, but at some point they will chase that lighting all the way around the circuit. It's like a strobe effect. It's really nifty to watch. At some point that will become obvious. Maybe not while I'm talking to you, but afterwards. Did the teams arrive yet? Oh, I had 2 drivers on my flight. I had a whole lot of Alpine people. I had a whole lot of FIA people. Yeah, they come in at various times. 43 here, keeping the near middle-aged vote. Good on you, Jay. I'm the elderly vote. What do you do when you have so much time? I have no time. I just work my ass. I never stop working. I'm addicted to this thing, and it might be a problem that I spend so much time on social media just pushing the shit out of what we're doing here. Now, somebody's come in with a super chat. This is Mr. or Mrs. Al-Bassam. Is it Moath? Thank you very much for your welcome to Saudi. I've got to get rid of that. Yes, I hope I enjoy my stay. So, look, so far, I've got much higher, not expectations, I like it a lot more than what I did last year. I think that's because of the weather. And then I get to meet... Look, I'll be around. If you see me in the paddock, I've got to go over here to read the last bit. Thank you very much. I have your dream job. I don't think too many people would like to do this job. It all sounds very lovely, but it's just non-stop, and it... yeah, you got to... It's 14, 15 hours of work a day. And as I was talking to some people last night, we were talking about, what do I do on my time off? If I go back to Bahrain, I would get back at, say, 9:30, and I would go down to that food hall, or I'd go to one of the restaurants in that mall, which is a great mall, and I would have an hour, maybe an hour and a half off, and then I'd go to bed. And then you get up early in the morning and you're at it again. It's a crazy schedule. And the team guys, the same. Drivers, the same probably. Everyone works crazy hours. You got to squeeze all of that into those, and then into those short days. And then you've got a day like today where it's a travel day, and pretty much the whole day is wasted when you travel. Although I am doing 2 private flights later in the year. One, I've already got the 3 spare seats sold, and there's another one which will be going from Nice to Barcelona after the Monaco race on the Monday. And if you want to share that flight, I've got 3 seats left for sale on that, and you can email Kym@KymIllman.com if you're interested in chipping in some money for a private flight, because there are no direct flights with business class from Nice to Barcelona. If you want to go business class, you have to do a 1-stop, and that just takes too long. And the only flights with economy, which would be more than fine because it's only, I think, an hour and a half flight, they leave it either before 7:30 a.m. or after 5:30 p.m. Just atrocious times, and it's just my reward for a very hard weekend, because Monaco is crazy, that we'll do a private flight, and you can be involved if you want. Yes, I'm in Saudi Arabia, in Jeddah. How many other photographers get to do what I do? What, photograph F1? There's about 100 a race. Or are you one of F1? I'm not contracted to F1 at all. I have no... That they just... And in fact, they don't even accredit me. FIA accredits me. So I have nothing to do with F1 except they buy my images via Getty Images. Favourite, I've done that one. Yeah, I got a haircut the other day, actually, yeah. In the shopping centre at Tony and Guy. Had the best massage ever at the spa in Bahrain. It was amazing. I fell asleep. I always fall asleep during. That's the mark of a good massage. I hope they just don't stop massaging while you're asleep and have a rest, but no. I need that because I carry those cameras over my neck and they kill me. I should do that more often. And unfortunately, I only found out about it on the Monday after. I wish I'd found it out on the Tuesday prior. I have a favourite driver, yes. Any chance you'll start an OnlyFans? Yeah, what would I do for OnlyFans? A very niche market, wouldn't it? Women over 80, maybe men, who knows? No, I don't think I'll be doing OnlyFans. Have you already chosen your bucket hat of the weekend? I've got two and I wear them. I'm still waiting on the final. With my bucket hats, we had a false start and then we went back and got a new design, and they're the ones that I'm testing now, and they're great. We're just waiting on the final design, then they'll be available, but they're bloody good. And I'm so glad I didn't go with the ones that we toyed with in late February. We just ditched that whole thing once we got the samples. Two drivers were on my flight, Lachlan. When you watch my Thursday night video, I'll go into some detail. What are my set goals for this year? 1 million followers on Instagram, 600 on YouTube. That's my goals. And we're just pumping out the content. And Jace, my son, who you might have seen, is coming up with some great ideas. I've got a new video talking about, well, there's one I recorded today about the grid, how the grid works. How can you get access to the pre-race grid action? And the other one he's written, but I haven't recorded yet, and I'll do that tomorrow, is one about, think boy, what is it? It's far out. Fines, how they work. And it's fascinating. The biggest fine in F1 history, the smallest fine. There you go. Coming up shortly. You'll get there on YouTube easy. I hope so. Look, we put on 40,000 in 4 weeks. But you need a number of very big videos. I think we got 8,000 out of one video. That was pretty good. Going to do the team ownership video? No, don't know. I don't think that would do well. Maybe it might form a short part of another video. Which airline has the best cheese? Somebody asked me the other day, what's your favourite carbohydrate? Best cheese? I don't know. I'm not very adventurous with cheese. I like Surprise Bay Cheddar from Tasmania, and I like Meredith Dairy goat's cheese out of Victoria. And for those of you wondering, I'll give you a little tour here. This is my view from this hotel. And out there is a sea. And down there is some construction work that's been going on madly for some time. And the airport is over that way. Right, now you go back up on this window on a suction mount. There you go, and hopefully it doesn't fall down and break. It's a great view, isn't it? What a view, all right. And how many... There must be another 12 floors above me. I've got to bring this down a bit lower. It's a bit tricky to see. Going to Le Mans. No, never been to Le Mans. Is that all right? I've got to get this right for you people. You don't waste a view like that, huh? What time is it in Saudi? It is 9:45 p.m. If you want to get your comment definitely seen, Super Chat is the tried and tested method to get attention. Will there be an Indian GP? I have no idea what F1's thinking. they really consult me, obviously. Will I attend any NASCAR? No, but I might go for a look at the Indianapolis race just as a spectator this year. How's the humidity? No humidity. It's glorious. As you can see, I've got a jacket on. It is a little breezy, but I'm quite happy that is the case. Who do I think will win this weekend? Ask me on Saturday after quali. Track lights on 24/7? No, I think they might just be on at the night, but they go all through the night, I believe. What's that one? Do you do every race? Yes. F1 will definitely be in South Africa for sure. Okay. Which race will drop off? What is this currency here? Somebody sent me 1,000 ARS 1,000. What's that? Please tell me what currency is ARS. Do most F1 photographers go to all races on the calendar, or do they just go to a few, handful of them? Thanks for the content and greetings from Argentina. Right, so they're Argentina things. Thank you very much for your Argentina things. No, most photographers don't do all races. This year, I'll do them all, hopefully. Charles Coates will do them all. Mario Renzi probably. Mark Sutton will probably do them all. There might be 10 that do every race. And over the past, since 2021, I think there's only 4 of us, 4 or 5 that have done every race. Most, the European guys might do half. Not all of them, but if you're from a major agency like Getty, you do most of them, like Clive Mason and Clive Rose, Bryn, Mark Thompson. I don't know whether these names mean anything to you, but they certainly are big in the name of Formula One, in the world of Formula One. Will there be a seat swap between Lando and Verstappen? I don't think so, unless you know something. Hello, Nelson Ambo Jr. Thank you for your thumbs up. I gather there's a senior or the junior. What's my favourite airline? Qatar. Can you photograph other FIA? Look, I could. Well, I have to apply for accreditation. So yes, I believe I could. Have I ever tried? No. No, I did apply once during COVID to go and shoot Bathurst, the supercars in Australia. They didn't even get back to me. There's no skin off my nose. It was just something to keep me interested for a weekend. We have 864 people watching and a lousy 305 likes. Quite frankly, I'm disappointed in a lot of you, not all of you, just a lot of you, for not having hit that like button. So I'd like to have a little amnesty now where you all go and press that like button just to appease my just to appease me, please. Hit the like button. I reckon we can get that to 600 with a little bit of pressure from a finger pressure it's called. Look at that, 427. Oh, that's 600 in 40 seconds time without a doubt. And Nelson, I'll come back to your comment in just a sec. Once we hit that 600, and I'll step out of the way for a second so you can enjoy that view while you hit that button that says like. Thank you very much. Look at that. I mean, listen to that. You can hear that beeping. Something goes reversing. 458. I would have thought we got better. No, 479's all right. Thank you very much for those of you hitting the like button. Don't hit it twice because that unlikes it. Just once. Another 99 to go. Nelson PK Jr. Come on, have you hit it yet? Have you hit it, Peter Brazier? You just got to hit it once, and I'll be most grateful to you. You'll be rewarded in heaven. I give you my solemn promise. 5:32, only 68 to go. Now I'll read Nelson's comment. He's going to the Miami GP. What is the area where the drivers walk in? Oh, I don't even know how you get there. You'd have to have a Paddock Club ticket, and they typically park at the car park, and there's no spectators allowed. We can pop in there and photograph them, but that's a tricky one, very tricky one. Leanne says, can anyone bring a camera and acquire an F1 grid pass? No. How many people do you reckon they'd have on the grid if that was an option? No, definitely not. No, you've got to be accredited. And even then, not everybody who's photographing gets grid access. And I'll explain more about that in my upcoming video about how you can access the grid if you are a certain type of person. Sam Rodriguez, thank you for backing me. Appreciate that. Like button hit. Thank you, Alan Hodgson. I was worried about you. I thought he'll question it. He'll hover over the button, but in the end, you've appeased me. Thank you very much. I don't travel often, but when I do, says HXRMS, I'm willing to spend a little more to make it a more positive experience. What is the best upgrade for the money? I don't know. I tend to book most of my fares a long way out, and sometimes they are crazy differences in pricing between a year out and 2 weeks out, obviously. And I use a lot of points. Favourite food in Saudi? I had a shawarma thing that was alright tonight. Yeah, it was pretty good. Now, who have we got here? Bucci. You're in the ME, Middle East. How about you come to Kuwait? Well, if you've got an F1 race, I'm there. I indulge in local culture. As if there was time for that. Thank you for the invite, but no, there is no time. Time you can't make more of. You can always make more money, but you can never make more time. My other half asks if you shoot using aperture. Yeah, most of the time I do. Sometimes I'll shoot manual, and I'll give you an example the other day. As drivers come out of a garage, it's black until the sun hits them. So I set up for the sun shot, and I just foregoed, gave up on any shot when they're in the dark, and I was guaranteed to get a good shot. Unless, of course, something happened in the dark, in which case I would have got a way dark shot. I have been to North Korea, so yeah, maybe I'll go again. I was only there for a few minutes, but I did go. She says, mad lad on the manual. What does that mean? Please explain. Will you try driving experience in any of the circuits? I've done a couple of hot laps. I did one in Austria in a Porsche that was epic, and then another one in a Ford at Kota, which was unbelievable as well. And it was with well, they are all very talented drivers, but it's phenomenal. And the frightening thing is always the braking and the cornering. You just don't think they're going to be able to pull the thing up, and God knows what it's like in an F1 car. Glad to be a backer all the way from Southern California. Hello, Sam Rodriguez. For those of you who aren't aware, you get those little emojis when you become a subscriber to the channel. And you might throw in a few bucks a month or whatever, and you get a few extras and you elevated status. And everyone likes to be a VIP. I think Laser's probably our only North Dakotan watching tonight, unless I'm savagely wrong. 834 people with us now, and that's a pretty good number. At night here, yes, people, if you just joined us, that is real. I'm on the 19th floor of the Shangri-La Hotel, and you're seeing the place we're racing this weekend. It's quite special. And over here, that's a very nice shopping centre down there. That's the Red Sea Mall. There's a car park down there. And that's me and the circuit. And that's the sea out there. What is that, the Red Sea? I don't know. My geography's not that great. I should know, shouldn't I? Oh, that's too... Got to come up a bit. It's a great mount I've got here. It's just fantastic. Cheers from Portugal. I like Portugal. I've only been there once, and that was 2021 after COVID, or when COVID was still a thing. And I've said this before, but I'll say it again. What was most vivid for me was there was no traffic going to or from the track. It was unbelievably quiet because there were no spectators. And we just had the time of our lives going to and from the track. Been to Vienna? Yes. I was there when the soccer was on last year. Jason and I had an apartment there. I stayed in a hotel there for a couple of nights. Have I visited downtown? Yeah, I might have a couple of years ago. Hello from Toronto, Canada. Toronto, Canada. Will I be going to Toronto? No, I've got a week off prior to the Montreal race, and I still haven't decided what the hell I'm going to do there. I don't think I could spend a week in Montreal. I don't like it that much. I'm going to have to drive somewhere. I'll find out at some point. I've got a flight into and out of Montreal, but I'm just unsure of what to do for that week. Hello, Perth, Lachlan. It's late there. My gosh, it's 3 a.m. What are you doing up at this hour? Have you ever been to the Indy 500? No, I've been to the Indy road race, but not the 500, because the 500 clashes with Monaco, and I'd never, ever give up Monaco for Indy. It's pretty fair to not like Montreal much. Yeah, I have no real love of the joint. Quebec, someone says, yeah, maybe. What are some good airports? What's that one? Good airports in Australia. Melbourne's ordinary, Sydney's busy, Brisbane I haven't been to for a long time. There's nothing special about any of them. Nothing like the Middle Eastern airports. They are sensational. How much is 1,000 ARSs worth? Because that message has been up there for quite some time, so I'm figuring that must be a few dollars anyway. Thank you very much to whoever gave that. Isle of Gut, US road trip before Canada. No. Favourite F-stop, 0.95. I love it. And if you're wondering how you get a lens with 0.95, I've got one. I bought it recently. It is a Canon Dream Lens, 50mm 0.95, manual focus, cost about $5,000 Aussie, and it is a legendary lens. It's as old as I am. Do people smoke on the streets out there? I don't know. That's an interesting question. Did I meet Lando Norris? How is he? No, and I don't know. Right, 1,000 ARS is 0.83 US dollars, $1.31 Australian. Why has it been up there for so long? It's incredible. Who was your first? Which was my first GP as a photographer, as a credited? I did testing in 2017 pre-season in Barcelona, but Melbourne was my first race. In 2017, excuse me. Oh. Will you ever do more New York City content? No, I went there once. I didn't like it. I don't like big cities. I also don't like moving. Someone says, oh, you should go and fly somewhere else in Saudi for a couple of days. No. Once I've unpacked all this crap, it's a real pain in the bum to pack it up. And when I get to wherever I'm going, I pretty much just get on the internet and social media or record videos. It just never stops. Too bad you shoot for the evil empire. Look, I've never had a Nikon, never had a Sony, and really, I've got so much Canon stuff now, it would be foolish of me to change. And I'm sure Nikon's every bit as good as Canon. I don't think there's too much difference between the pair, but I'm not about to start over again. Insurance is expensive, yes. Laser forklift, we're going to catch up in Kota apparently, that's nice. I'm doing a meet and greet there, it'll be on a Friday, and it's my biggest of the year. I think we had about 180 last year, and it went for some time. That and Australia are very, very popular ones. Girlfriend is in Jeddah working for SMC for this race for the first time. Happy for her. Well, she'll be down there somewhere in an office. And those dark bits in the circuit there, in the middle there, that's water. There's a lake. Very nice. Lay's or Doritos? Neither. Samboy or Smith's. And what about Pringles? Aren't allowed to be called chips because they're not made from potatoes. They're made of a paste. Did you know that? I watched that on the internet. Says Jean Drick Tromp. Happy seeing you here. Well, happy to see you. Do you know? A friend of Jake Tromp from Perth, good friend of mine, lovely fellow. Everybody from now on donating in Argentinian pesos. I've been to Argentina for about 5 hours. I went to Iguazu Falls, and I think it's Argentina that's on the border of Brazil, Argentina, maybe a third place. But those falls were something special. I haven't been to Niagara, but I believe Iguazu, or Iguazu, however you pronounce it, is probably better than that. It's roaring, it's mind-bending, there's so many people there. Have you broken any lenses during F1? Yeah, this bloody race. 2 years ago, maybe 3, one of the races. It was on the race day, 600 mil over my shoulder, and I tripped because it's awful walking around this track. There's so much crap in the moat that it's a real peril. And yeah, I went arse over tit. Lens, camera hit the ground, get up, take a shot with the camera and the lens. Oh, great, it still focuses. Then I didn't touch it until the first race. Was it the last race? I didn't touch it until Melbourne. I get out to turn, and it must have been the first or second or third race, because I get to Melbourne and I'm out at turn 6, and I can't get any shot sharp. Everything's fuzzy when I'm panning. So I take it back to Canon and say, this is not working. And because I'm a member of their professional services thing, which costs all of $100 a year, and it gets you 5 sensor clean, so straight away you're in front. They said, right, well, take this one, you're going for 3 months, we'll fix yours, and then you bring the other one back. And that's the beauty of being a pro photographer with Canon, and the same with Nikon, I'm sure they'd look after me just the same, is that they do this sort of stuff, and it was fantastic. And I walked right past Gaunta Odim in Singapore. Anyone remember that? 2023. Have you ever thought of moving to a more central? No, I've got too much back in Perth. I don't need to move anywhere else. Geez, these comments are very quick. If you want to make sure I see yours, please hit the super chat button. Why is that 1000 ARMS still up there? That's crazy. Kym, do you think Lewis should get back to a meat diet? No, I don't know anything about that. I think he should come back and wear fashionable clothing, but I think his hands are definitely tied at the moment. Somebody said, do you think he's disappointed? Well, I know he's disappointed, and he sounds, you don't have to listen to his press conferences to work that out. But it's a long road, and he's always dreamed of driving for Ferrari, so I don't think we should jump to an early conclusion yet. Hit the like too. Yeah, hit the like, please. Benzie News is looking out for me, and I appreciate you guys keeping an eye out for me. Oh, did you watch my latest video? I lost my passport. It's just a very funny story. I'll give you a little heads up on it for those of you who haven't watched the video yet. In Singapore, I go through the scanner, and it's just before you get on the plane. And I realised that my passport's in my pocket, and I've got one of those. I'll show you. So there's my passport, and in the back is this plastic thing stuck there so that if I lose it, I can do a find my whatever, and I know where it is. And it beeps when you go through the scanner that you walk through, so I put that in the scanner with my luggage. But I must have put it on the top, because when I get the other end, I grab my stuff and then I go to check in, and I go, oh, passport. So I go back, and I know it must be there. Oh, my passport's probably in the little orange tray. No. Yeah, it must be, because I just came through it. I know it's there. No, it's not here. And then the girl says, oh, have a look. She's scrolling back through the pictures of what people have taken on. And I say, oh, mine's the big lens picture. So she stops it. And she says, no, it's not in the box. But then she looks to the side, and it's sitting on the conveyor belt. So it's come out of the tray, sat on the belt. And what happened was it had fallen down once it got to once the conveyor belt spat it out. You know, it's got those rollers that are that thick. Well, that fitted in between, and it's fallen on the floor underneath. So I lost it, but I got it back very quickly. Quite a story, huh? Quite a story. The lights on the track probably use South Africa's whole generation capacity. Is that right? Well, it looks fantastic, doesn't it? And I was saying earlier on that at some point those lights will cycle around, and it's quite impressive to watch. What hairbrush do you use, Kym? I can't remember. Favourite track to get shots of the cars? Monaco. I got to have a ticker that runs along the bottom. With that question answered, it comes up every 3 minutes in these things. You in front of a green screen. What do you reckon? Is that a green screen? No, I don't think that's a green screen, is it? No, that's not a green screen. That's pretty much what you're seeing behind. Look at that. This is from the 19th floor of the Shangri-La. It is amazing. It's an amazing view, and I've had this view once before, and I've also come up and shot a session up here, which was great. Which race do you wish should be added? No, I get that question a lot, and I don't care about any races, quite frankly. Just go to the ones that are there and pack up and go to the next one. I would not like to see F1 racing in Bangkok. Not in a fit. It's too hot. It's a very selfish reason, but I think we've got enough heat. So no more hot, sweaty races, please. Let's go to a place that's 21 and sunny. 21, even 23, I'm happy with. No breeze. Oh, that would be a dream. What have you got here? Got a huge lens to be able to capture anything from this distance at that particular corner by any chance. I got a 500 with an adapter on it, becomes 1,000. I wonder what that... hang on a sec. Aha! This is an adapter. It doubles the focal length. That's a 100 to 500. So I'm going to take this lens off. I'm going to put this doogie thing there, in there, and then I'm going to go and put this lens on here. Hang on, come on. Just take me a second, guys. What's going on here? Hang on. Here we go. Rightio, now I have this thing here. Let's take a picture, shall we? I'm shooting at f14, which is not ideal. Okay. Now, that's zoomed in, but you can see that that is one of those little red trolleys down there. You might see a little red dot. That's the full shot. That's at 1,000 millimeters. That's pretty nifty. And if I shoot down here, I'm trying to see if there's anyone running the track. No, there's not. But I will be running the track tomorrow, maybe. If I'm up early enough and it's cool enough, I thought I'd have a crack at it. And it's easy to do. You can just walk onto the track because it's not a closed track or anything tomorrow. As long as you've got your media pass, you can get on there, no problem. What is the best and most affordable way to get started with photography? Buy a second-hand camera and a 70 to 200 mm lens, and go out and shoot. If you like motorsport, go out and shoot local motorsport, whatever's in your area. A cheap DSLR, yes. You make black and white also? No, never. Oh, no, very rarely. Most of my stuff I shoot is for editorial, and as such, yeah, it's colour. Which is the country you get most viewership from? Well, my biggest audience is the US, then Britain, then Australia. Netherlands is big. They're the top 4. You should shoot photos from your hotel room in practice, but I'm not staying here during the race. The price of this room goes from crazy money to unbelievable money come race weekend. No, I'm moving down to a very modest media hotel, but it's closer to the track than this is, and as you can see, this is bloody close. Have you ever shot F1 cars with 35? No, I've never shot film whatsoever. And I don't think I'd want to. I'm going to interview a very good photographer in Mark Thompson who has shot film, and he will hopefully tell us a few secrets about what it was like in those days shooting on film. I had a meal downstairs. I'll show you this if you just come lately down here, and I don't want to lose anything here. But it's a lovely restaurant down there, and that over there is a pool. And over there is the Red Sea Mall. So that's a pretty interesting outlook, isn't it? How do you book these expensive hotels? Or you just go onto hotels.com. Do you have a bias for Oscar being an Aussie? No? No? What's the weirdest, most random interaction with a driver have you got in your... I don't know whether this is probably answering a different question, but I was in Russia going back 2017 or 18, and it's about 8 o'clock, and I thought I'll have an early night, and I'll get into bed. I'm flicking through social media, and I see Nico Hülkenberg's put a picture up of him in Red Square before the Sochi race, because we're going to Sochi in a day or two. So I sent his trainer a note and said, "Oh, let's catch up for dinner." His trainer comes back and said, "Yeah, all right, well, come on, we're down here at the Ritz-Carlton. We'll be there in 10 minutes. I get out of bed and get dressed and go and have dinner with him. It was a very funny night. He is quite a character. Where do you think the highest hotel prices are? Here. This joint for good hotels. Austin for good hotels. Monaco, crazy money, just ridiculous money. Still not as expensive as this hotel during the race weekend, but still a lot of money. Yeah, best value probably Budapest. Australia's pretty good, I think. Where does Jeddah has his unique thing compared? Okay, I get the gist. Well, it's a fast circuit. They play on that a bit. What else? Don't know. It's a shit of a place to get to. So is Bahrain, for that matter. Fun things to do in Jeddah. I have no idea. I have absolutely no idea what's fun here. I don't do fun anymore. I do work. Do a lot of work. That's pretty much it. Where is the meet and greet? I'm not doing one this race because it's tricky to get anywhere. Unless you're in the... no, it's just a tricky track. And I don't have much of a following here, so it's... I'm not going to do one. I'm going to be at all races unless something untoward happens. I did not watch the Masters. And the funny thing is, because Jace, my son, does a lot of my social media, I went to bed and I woke up in the morning and there's a picture of Rory McIlroy and I'm thinking, that's on my page. What's that doing on my page? Well, Jace, because I'd photographed Rory and spoken to him a couple of times at a couple of races, and Jace thought he'd put that up. And you know what? That post did really well. Is this the tall building you can see from the onboard? It's one of. Yeah, it's at the very... Well, that's the last corner down there. It's a stunning building. It's only been open for 3 years, I think. What races are you doing meet and greets? Just depends on my schedule. And I don't know until 2 days before what my schedule is, because I work for a number of different organisations, and they might say, yes, we need this thing covered at this time, and then it just buggers me up. So, yeah. Mohammed, are they Kronas? SEK? 27 of them. How much downforce does your bald head produce? What? Jeez, I don't know. How would you measure that? look, I've never scientifically gauged it, but perhaps we could put it to the test. And maybe tomorrow is that time if I run this track. I kind of think I'll get halfway through, because I think running, I did 5Ks the other day on the running machine, but that's without stopping. It blew me away. And I'm not doing much training. I think it's completely different to run it in real life. But still, there's a real incentive to keep going, because if I start here, I've got to come back here, and so that's my goal. Yo-Yo Ma will be playing in Toronto on the 7th of June. Is that a good thing? Don't know. I put Mohammed Ben Salam in my Men of the Paddock today. It was pretty good. There's no negative comments about him. Good to see you working the paddock in Bahrain. FP3 was bloody hot. Yeah, Friday was nasty, and Sunday was good. Too many races in the Middle East. I think there's another one coming. I think we're going to have 2 in Saudi Arabia. It's only halfway to Europe for me. Oh no, it's about 10/16 the way to Europe for me. But it's no cheaper. It's probably the same price to go to Europe as it is to come here from Australia. Most used lens, 100 to 300. But I do take my 50mm 1.2 lens out to do stuff on the grid. It's an autofocus Canon. It's a new lens. Not like my 1964 manual focus 50mm, but it's just stunning. When you shoot at f1.2, you just separate the subject from the background so beautifully. This is pre-recorded. It is daytime right now. Your stuff's pre-recorded? Mine's not. Greetings from Melbourne, says Milton Brownrigg, one of my longest serving and enthusiastic followers. Melbourne, it would be, what are we, 3, 5, it's going to be 5 a.m. Why are you up at 5 a.m? Going for a run perhaps, like me tomorrow morning. How much time takes away doing videos for YouTube during the weekend? It's not too bad now, because I record stuff. Sometimes I nip out of the track and do some stuff live to camera, because I can do stuff. Oh, this is pretty good. I can just nip out to the street and get outside the venue to record stuff to camera, or I wait until the night and do it afterwards, and then my editor goes to bat editing straight away. But yeah, it's not so much the recording of it, it's the coming up with the ideas and working out what stories are what. It's a real grind, and sometimes we don't know what the story is until the very last minute. For instance, the last video I did on Sunday, I didn't do a video Saturday night, and I should have, but there was nothing to report, so I just let it go. And then on Sunday, I've been told about the party at the Prince's Palace, and I thought, is that the lead story? Because, so you know, when I do a video, typically it'll be, especially over a weekend, it'll be one story that takes a minute or 2 minutes as the start, and that's the hook, that's what the thumbnail is. But there might be 12, 14 different stories throughout the video. And we talked, Jason and I talked during the day, and also my editor, and we agreed that, yeah, that's an interesting story, a closed party at the Palace. And it did really well, 140,000 views in a day and a bit. If they all did that, I'd be thrilled. Do you get free meals from FIA? I don't know who pays for them. Yeah, we get free food in the media centre. That's an interesting one. If I remember, I'm going to ask who actually... No, you know what? It is the circuit, it's the organiser that pays for our meals, so yes. Who picks the charity when you do a driver signed photo? Well, some of them, the drivers typically, but only a couple have done charities. We did one with Toto. Yeah, that was good. He picked a charity in Australia too, which was great. No, I missed a member here. Who's the member? Oh, that's Moath again. A VIP. It's nice to have VIP members. Very important to the success of this channel. Who will have the best power unit in 2026? You're asking the wrong man here. I know nothing about cars. What are the best tracks for photographers? I just know, once again, it's about the 6th time I've said this, Monaco is my favourite track for photos. What would happen? What would you happen to know if the Canon power shot? No, I don't even know what that is. I just know the R1s and the R5 Mark II, although I've got a bit of a hiccup with that, trying to sort out some autofocus. But being a member of Canon Professional Services means I can shoot them messages and they respond. It's great. Now behind me, you are, for those just joining us, you are looking at the Jeddah circuit. It's pretty impressive, especially from this angle. What's better for getting shots, night or day? You know, they are just different. None is better. What corner is behind you? Last corner. And it's a very long track. It's a good couple of kilometres long. Not as long as the run up the far end from Baku. I think that's the longest, is it not? It's the final corner, correct? Redmond. I've seen your name a lot on my live streams. Thank you very much. I'm going to hazard a guess and say that a lot of you have got this on in the background and you're going about your day's work and you're just listening to the audio, and that thrills me that you're going to spend a period of time in your day listening to me prattle on with no notes, with no real idea of where it's going. I pretty much just use your comments to branch off into different directions. The camera has my all turned around, being the last corner. It looks like, is this reversed? Because, how can I tell? Does that say Kym, or does that say, that's reversed, is it not? And I don't know how to stop it being reversed. I just give up. It's mirrored. Fuck, I thought I thought I'd fix that. MYK. Yeah, so you're seeing a different thing to what I am. Oh, bugger. I give up. I just need someone to come in here and just press the buttons on this thing. And that's why I have Michael Anthony in Perth, who is my technical whiz, who puts more and more tricky stuff in place that when it works is fantastic, and when it doesn't, it kills you. Would have been going now 82 minutes. That's a fair effort. It is now 21 minutes after the hour of 10 p.m. Super Chat gets your comments noticed very quickly. And how's my light going over here? How much power's left? Oh, that's fantastic. That's hardly used anything. I use this little light panel, Photix, Photix, or double Tix. It's fantastic. Yes, it is mirrored, says a number of people. You're just listening to the beeping machine to send you to sleep, loving it. That's a forklift in reverse, is it not? Other questions. Do you secretly wish for a safety car because it's more eventful? No, I don't secretly wish for that. But I kick myself for not being at turn one when that safety car came out. And next time that happens, if I'm anywhere near turn one, I'm going back to there for the restart, because the sparks were incredible. And I didn't realise it until the Monday after. You know what? I still have not watched the highlights of that race. I have not had a moment where I've been able to spend 5 minutes watching it. I should make the time, shouldn't I? I am bloody tired. Here we go. There's a member here. I understand it's a default YouTube setting for live. Seeking a solution. Thanks, Dodgem. It's a default, is it? Because I thought I'd ticked a thing on my phone that sorted that out for something. Now, I'm understanding, because this is a dry country, but I was told that some boats down in the harbour down the other end there are outside the control of the government, and they can have alcohol in there. Have you ever been on a boat here and had a drink? Qatar Airways is my favourite at the moment. Fired someone. Does FIA book better rooms for you? We have nothing to do with the FIA. FIA just pays for their cruise rooms. Says Maverick, how did you get started shooting F1? I applied in 2017 to the FIA for accreditation. Told them what I thought I could do for them, and they said yes. And here I am, 100 and 52 races later. Instagram does it too, huh? So for photographing an F1 race, you actually never know what's going on. No. We hardly have a clue. Like, well, last race, sometimes we've got screens, and that's great, but you've got to be looking at it. Often crowds will go, ooh, rah, and then of course you automatically have a look up there. But yeah, a lot of the times we don't know what's going on. Sometimes I'll be photographing cars and I think, where's that car gone? Oh, it's just disappeared. No, I don't have a radio scanner. Oh, actually, I do have one, a police radio scanner in Perth. I'm doing photography for your GSCEs, hoping to photograph F1 for a career. What do you recommend? Start with a lot of money. It's a very expensive exercise. And you haven't even considered all the costs. Costs like visas, legal advice, insurance, all sorts. Did you skip a race in recent years? No, I haven't missed a race since 2021. My last race I missed was all of 2020 because we weren't allowed to go with Formula One to the events because COVID meant that only, I think it was about 20 photographers were allowed. Website equals kymillman.com. Isn't that a great view? And I'm looking at it in a little screen. I can turn around here now and look at that. That's bigger than Ben-Hur. Leanne again. Kym, are you close to any driver in particular? Do they all recognise you and know you by name? Look, I speak to almost all of them. I imagine most of them would know me. Not sure about Lewis. I know Lance does. I don't speak to Lance much because I rarely see him, and he's normally quite focused on getting to where he wants to go. But occasionally his trainer will send me a note and say, "Oh, we were both looking at this, and we thought this was hilarious because you said that," which is great because his trainer's a lovely fella, Henry Howe. Yeah, I think they all watch my stuff because it's so quick. If they come into the paddock, and in particular Lewis, if he's wearing a nice outfit, that picture can be up probably by the time he gets to his hospitality suite, or certainly within a couple of minutes anyway. Your tips really helped us to see the drivers in Zandvoort. There you go. And if you haven't already had a look at my kymillman.com website, I urge you to go and have a look. If not, to get one of my photographic books. I do one for every race and every driver, or to get a signed print, or to get some wall art. Go and have a look at my race-by-race guides, where I give you a whole lot of insight into what each event is like. You will pick up some great tips. Would you ever do a video with a breakdown on what you spend a year? The tax office gets that video. How does Mark Sutton's role change since he's now shooting? That's no different. He's still out there doing driver arrivals. Oh, he gets a bit more access, I think. Is he in Parc Ferme? Maybe he is. Because, for those of you who didn't know, Getty Images bought Motorsport Images. They've just bought Shutterstock. It's got everything. How often do you do live streams? Oh, average once a week, maybe? Is it much different photographing night than day? Yeah, it's mainly the darkness. You have to shoot at a higher ISO, but that's no big deal. The lighting's pretty good, so it's okay. Do you like my glasses? I do. The colour got me a little bit, but in terms of the lenses, they look pretty schmick. Did you ever get to meet Clive James back in the day? No, but I did love Clive. He was a very eloquent speaker. Back up a bit, Kym. Bit more, and topple over the balcony. That would be a mean fall. 19 floors up. Thank you for getting a Jack Doohan signed print. What number did you get? Because I might still have yours in my luggage here. Jace took some back and I've got some here as well. But that was a beautiful photo of Jack's, and he's going to be with us all year apparently. 3 of 150. Good on you, David. One of the top 10 numbers. Do you get negative comments from people on your job? Not many. Only from people who are jealous. But they're only jealous of this bit. They're not jealous of the years, the 40 years prior that you have to go to get to a point where you can do this sort of thing. Because not many people can do this. You have to have a lot going for you. You have to have good people behind you. My kids are grown up now, which is great. I couldn't be doing it if I had young kids. That wouldn't be right. I couldn't be doing it if Messages on Hold, I was still running that, but I've got good management in that business now, so that works beautifully. Yeah, look, a lot of people jealous of the good bits, but not jealous of the nasty, dirty bits, the years of whatever it is, and yeah, I don't care. I'm not worried about those people. Good funding, lots of time and passion. Yeah, there's very few people. I mentioned this earlier on. I don't think too many people want to invest this much time and effort into this thing. This is not, oh, I've got to be at the track at 10, I'm going to leave at 6. No, you'll get nowhere doing that. No, I would never be offered as a job as a photographer for a team, and I wouldn't be interested either. That's not what I want to do. Jack Boy is crushing it. He did all right last race. He was 7th there for a while. I thought, oh, this is going to be great, and then bang, he's down at 14th, but I don't even know what happened. His girlfriend was there, Ebony. Not often does she come to a race, but she was in sunny Bahrain. Are there any tracks that you would like? No, I don't have an answer to that question. No, you can't get a job at 14 in the paddock. I just got 2 of my prints signed by Pato. Bloody Pato. What a marvellous man he is. Hopefully I'll catch up with him in the US if I go to Indianapolis to have a look at that race. Oscar 2025 WDC. Look, he's a chance. Any advice for a double header with the Dutch and Italian GP? Advice? Yeah, go to both of them and enjoy them. Sing along with the Dutch and then sing along with the Italians. I like the Dutch crowd. I like the dance music they have pumping there on a Sunday. It's a great buzz. It's bloody busy. Yes, Mark and Keith are brothers. Used to work in the same business, Sutton's Images. How do you manage your equipment drag during the rain? Well, I don't take it outside in the rain. And I've been pretty lucky with the rain. Basically, 200 days of travelling is pretty insane, and not many people would want to do it. That's right. And in 2021, I was away from my boys for 300 days. Couldn't come home to Australia because our government was so over the top with COVID, which we all know now was a bit of an overkill. Didn't really matter, did it? Where did your catchphrase come from? I don't know. I just said it one day and I just kept saying it. It's a funny thing. And my new hats have Stay Passionate on there. And it's a nice curvy logo. Have I been to Indianapolis? Yeah. Yeah, I photographed, just for fun. It's just a fun thing. The year before last and the one before that. I liked it. How would a really cold race work in negative Celsius? I don't know. Would they be able to keep the cars on track? Coldest day I've ever had was the Thursday in Austin in maybe 2021, was it? 2022? It was about 4 degrees with the wind on the Thursday, and it wasn't pleasant. And I didn't have enough clothing, so on the Wednesday I had to go and shop in town. Yes, the camera's reverse flipped. What a backdrop. It's fantastic, isn't it? For those of you just joining me, let me give you a quick little zoom around here. This is what we are looking at here. Jeddah, it's the airport, straight ahead. And then you get this stunning view down to that track. Now, our media centre is on the island there in the middle. All those yellow lights, that's those buildings, a couple of them are our media centre. It's a good 250 metres from the paddock It is the worst setup imaginable. But there's no room for us over in the main area, so we just have to suck it. Do you like this track? No, not really. I don't love the race. It's not the worst, but I don't love it. What hotel do you want to stay in for a race but haven't yet? I'm going to be staying on a ship in Monaco. That's going to be huge. And you'll get to see that too, because it's an MSC cruises ship and it's stunning, absolutely stunning. Yes, I have a favourite apprentice. That'll be a pain in the ass, and besides, nobody learns how to shoot Formula One at Formula One. You shoot lower categories, and once you're good, you come to F1. You don't start in F1. As far as I can tell, wasn't there a bomb attack near the track? Oh, it's about 30 kilometres away. And yes, it was very exciting. Do I have I did that one, didn't I? What is your regular day like aside from GB? What's GB? GB. Is that Great Britain? I don't know. I'm not sure the question. I'll answer this question. What's a typical day? Get there, drive arrivals for 3 hours, edit for a bit, do a session, edit for a bit, wander around the paddock, do the second session, edit for a bit, go out again, do a bit more, and then come back and have dinner. That's a rough outline. But in between, there's all sorts of commitments that I'll have to do. And I've lost all your comments. Now, they stopped after Sanders' comment. Anyway, 96 minutes and 42 seconds without the camera, without the phone going dead, and without this light going dead is a pretty fair effort. So with that, I'm probably just going to say thank you very much for joining me, and I'm going to press that button, stand by, and stay passionate.